Hi, my name is Peter Alves from Pombo and Peter's Picks and the Bo Sox Bombers, and we have a little Take That reunion. Welcome to join Nathan Gagne and David Babb to the Daily Goat. Today we're going to be talking a plethora of topics. We're first going to be talking about the NHL playoffs and their futures. The NHL is doing something a little different. Their playoff format and their new divisions. They're split up from the North, West, Central, and East based on where their geographical locations are. And the four best teams in their divisions will make the playoffs, and they'll be seeded in a 1-4-2-3 bracket. And then the winner of the four divisions will be seeded in a 1-4-2-3 bracket based on the regular season points, and then that's how the Stanley Cup winner will be decided. If any of you want to say a future or a division bet that you would like.
So, I mean, as a Bruins fan, Nathan, obviously, well, not obviously, but for new listeners, or not even new listeners, new to me, I guess. But obviously, Bruins fan. 2 years ago when they made the Cup, made some good money on them making the finals. Then I put double down even more to them to win the finals, which, of course, screwed me. One of the worst days of my life. But, I mean, the Bruins, they're in that division, the East division, and it's tough because it's a lot of the Metro teams. No Canada, but I mean, Washington's tough. Philly, Pitt, Islanders, New York, they're all up and coming. But I mean, I don't want to be a homer. It's kind of cliche, but I mean, Bruins, it's a lot of juice, but minus 400 to make the playoffs. I like that. Talking earlier, I think Dave agrees with that.
Yes, I do.
I mean, I don't want to pick a division winner for that division. It's just too even. One division that sticks out is the West, which is a lot of the West teams, California, but the team that sticks out, Colorado. That team is absolutely loaded. They have McKinnon, Landeskog, Rantanen, top lines in the league, and they still have prospects coming in the system. If you watch the World Juniors, that Bowen Byram for Canada is nasty. He's coming up the pipeline. So Colorado plus 160 to win the West. Nice little price. I like them.
And I also have them winning the West. I do also have a sleeper team making the playoffs. The
Ooh.
Buffalo Sabres at plus 270.
I don't hate that. If there was rumors over the summer that Eichel was kind of getting a little antsy and wants
Yeah.
out, but they added Hall. I don't
Yeah,
hate that. It's just a tough division, but
it is
I
a tough division.
I don't hate the team over there. I mean, we're recording mid-game, but in that same Bruins division, the Pittsburgh Penguins with an absolute stinker against the Flyers, losing 6-3. And I mean, I would have said this before the game, but I think just because that division's so tight, it's got a lot of good teams, but I think Pittsburgh is going to miss out. Jerry didn't look good in net, and they lost Murray, so they don't have that handcuff to Jerry.
Do you guys like the new playoff format and the new division format, or do you think it's not fair to certain teams because they're just
I'm
placed
going
all
to be
over?
honest. I didn't know the new playoff format until you said it.
Oh, because of COVID?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's
not a
'cause of
whole lot
COVID.
either. I mean, the divisions is tough to complain about. I mean, it's kind of needed. So
Yeah.
I mean, does like a team like the Bruins, they probably have a tougher division now. But I mean, hockey's being played, so I mean, I can't complain. One thing
Sure.
that kind of connected to divisions, and this is a side tangent, but it's driving me crazy. The people on Twitter, they sold the advertising rights to these divisions. So it's like I think the East is like the Mass Mutual East division. People are complaining, saying that NHL is going corporate, blah blah blah. The league is losing billions of dollars. What do you want them to do? Like, I didn't even know the name. I didn't even know the Bruins were in the East Division. Never mind the Mass Mutual East Division. What does it matter? Who cares?
Are these the same people that complain about ads on the NBA jerseys?
Oh, the very
Probably.
same. Or the ads on the helmets. The ads on the helmets aren't a big deal. There's usually a logo there anyways. Who cares? Let's make some money.
And
Like,
your sport's still being played, so
yeah,
I
I
would
mean,
shut the hell up.
It's
don't be
barely noticeable.
don't be an ingrate. Like the people, like you got to make money. I mean, especially hockey, who most of their money is made on the fans. It's not like the NBA or NFL. They need the gate and they don't have it. So simmer down. Watch your hockey. Thinking,
Shut up about it.
yeah, put a hockey stick down your throat. Just thinking,
Yeah.
deal with it.
Yeah, do you have any more odds?
I like the team futures. I'm looking at some of these player futures. I mean, it's a homer pick again, but just off the top of my head, like not Vesna, Norris Trophy, maybe McAvoy.
He's
That
gonna
probably
have
wouldn't
to
be a
step
bad
up
one.
with no
Predicting a
Char.
big leap.
Yeah, with Char out, I mean, he's going to be logging like 25 minutes a game, so
Hmm.
don't hate that. Rookie of the year, I'd probably say that Shesterkin from The Islanders, not the Islanders, Rangers, same thing. New York.
Yeah,
New
all
York.
the same.
So
Should've
we
gone
can
down.
change gears to the NBA. So today recording is January 13th. So a major trade went down today, a James Harden trade. It was a 4-team trade between the Cavs, the Nets, the Rockets, and the Pacers. Rockets trade James Harden to the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets received obviously Harden and a second-round pick. Pacers received Chris Levert and a second-round pick. The Cavs received Jared Allen and Tyrone Prince. And the Rockets received a bunch of players, Exum, Karusik, Oladipo. The Nets pick in 2022, 24, and 26. The Cavs pick in 2022. That was from the Bucks. And they can swap their picks with the Brooklyn Nets in 2021, 2023, 2025, and 2027. It's a big mouthful, but do you like this trade for the Rockets or Nets?
So I think this makes the Rockets a better team. I would have liked them to keep Karras over Oladipo, but I am an Oladipo fan, so I won't hate it. I do think that the Cavs won this trade by getting Jarrett Allen and Taurean Prince for next to nothing. And then for the Nets, it's a pretty good trade, especially with all the Kyrie drama going on. Gets you another superstar, but it does take away a lot of their depth.
I just don't understand why the Cavs were in this deal.
Yeah, I don't either, but I'm sure they're very happy about it.
Nathan, what are your
Yeah.
thoughts on this Harden trade?
Yeah, I mean, like Dave said, I just don't get why the Rockets would trade Levert. He's under contract for like 3 more years, and Oladipo is an expiring, unless they just want that cap slot. But I feel like Karis Levert, maybe not a max player in the future, but like maybe like that Jaylen Brown second tier, like right below a max slot. At the Cavs, I mean, Allen's good. As a Celtics fan, I'm happy that Jared Allen and Karis Levert aren't going to be in a Nets uniform anymore. They kill the Celtics. So, I mean, Harden, I mean, is it going to work in Brooklyn? I think it will for now, as long as Kyrie's out. I think once Kyrie comes back, it's going to create a mess. But
Do you
I
think Kyrie is going to come back? There's reports that he might sit out the whole year again.
I don't think so. He's a weird guy. I mean,
He is.
as Celtics, they kind of were the first to call the Cavaliers and like Kyrie Irving's bluff. They were like, oh, this guy, maybe he's not that crazy. We'll give up a first round pick and Isaiah Thomas. Like, we'll see if he's actually that crazy. Turns out he was. Okay, this is where my little activity's coming in. I was on the way home today in the car, and I am trying to trade Kyrie Irving. That's my mission. And I just don't think that another team would trade anything of substance to get Kyrie because he's a nut job.
He's
So
a cancer.
Are there any teams that have fans in the stands in the NBA?
I don't know.
Because
no.
I would say Kyrie would be a potential draw for teams like that, where like
Not if he's not
hey,
going to sit. Not if he's going to sit
that's
out,
true.
though.
Yeah,
I was talking to my dad about it, and we're saying, like, I think the only teams that would trade for him are teams like Detroit,
yeah,
Orlando, bad teams that need to become relevant again.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like what they had Wall, but what the Wizards did with Westbrook. And like, what do you offer if you're the Orlando? Okay, all right, we want Kyrie. Okay, Nets say, okay, we want Aaron Gordon, Cole Anthony, and like a bunch of firsts. They're gonna laugh at that. They're not gonna do that for Kyrie.
If I was Orlando in that case, I'd give them the disabled player exemptions for John Isaac and Markelle Fultz. Be like, there you go. Here's a first round pick for it.
I mean, I wouldn't give up Kem Birch or Dwayne Bacon. It's true.
Yeah, I wouldn't give up anything.
He's way too like unreliable. I mean,
You know, if he doesn't like the team, he's just gonna be like, "All right, I'm not playing. You should trade me for nothing."
him and Durant were friends. They conspired.
He's the reason Durant went there.
Yeah, and he's alienating Durant. The coach hates him. This guy, I mean, he's the worst. And I hate LeBron, but to LeBron's credit, he's played basketball. He hasn't like gone home and I mean he would drink himself to death, but he hasn't gone home he's played. So it's pretty crazy. But I mean, we shall see. The Rockets, I really just don't get that Oladipo part.
Yeah. It has to be money related.
Or he's friends with Wall. I mean, the NBA. It's a friends
Yeah.
league.
Do you think the Nets got enough? Because I don't think they have any depth anymore.
They don't have much depth, but it's James Harden and Kevin Durant, two of the best scorers in league history.
Yeah,
You can
that's true.
sacrifice some depth and defense and hope that they just explode every night.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it. Like LeVert and Allen are huge pieces. Not huge, but like pretty solid, at least like foundational depth pieces. But they still have like Landry Shamet, Joe Harris, DeAndre Jordan, Brown, ELC, whatever his full name is. But like that's pretty solid bench depth.
Yeah.
You think they didn't give up? I mean, they
Jeff
gave up,
Green too.
yeah, like they only gave up. I mean, they gave up the Karooks, but essentially LeVert and Allen. Like that's pretty. They didn't give too much away from their roster.
Yeah. Just their future.
Yeah, do you think this was a missed opportunity for the Sixers?
If the reports are true that they wanted Simmons and Tyrese Maxey, I would never do that as a Six. Like if I was the Sixers.
I wouldn't either.
It's tough because I feel like Simmons and Embiid aren't going to win together.
Just Simmons, I would do that, but not with Maxey involved. Because then, like, you don't have a young point guard anymore, and he's been pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Oladipo fan. I mean, Simmons fan, but I feel like if I'm the Rockets, I'd rather have Simmons and Oladipo.
Hmm.
I mean, it's crazy, unless they want the salary, but I don't know who's an upcoming free agent that they plan on signing. We shall see.
Now, after this deal was announced, they shot up to plus 120 in the odds to win the Eastern Conference. They're number one by a landslide. The number two is the sorry Milwaukee Bucks of plus 300. And the
To win the East?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh,
And then the NBA championship winner, they're moved up to second of plus 300, right behind the Lakers, obviously, of plus 240. Do you like that? Or I don't think they're going to win the East or obviously the championship.
I think they're going to be a
That's-
second round exit.
Yeah, I think
Wait,
that's
do you-
terrible odds.
what are the odds for like the Heat and the Celtics to win
Heat,
the
No.
East?
Heat are plus 800. Celtics are plus 600. Sorry
I mean,
for taking
take
that from you,
take
Peter.
those instead of the
Okay.
Nets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Easy.
you have no value on the Nets.
I'd take the Pacers before I took the Nets.
Even the Sixers at plus 650. I'd
Yeah.
take that.
Pacers are at plus 25 to 1 to win that East.
I mean, that's insane. Like, I know that the Heat started out slow, but they're going to get their playoff team. Celtics are only getting healthier. The Sixers actually look somewhat competent. I'd rather put money on like the 4, say 3 through 6 seeds than the top 2.
Even like the Raptors could bounce back in a big way.
Oh, they're bad.
No, I think the Raptors are terrible.
Talk about a team that needs Andre Drummond. I mean, Cavs have
Yeah.
too many bigs now with Allen. They could really use Drummond.
But don't we all want to see the Larry Nance, Thon Maker, Andre Drummond, JaVale McGee, Jared Allen lineup?
Of course.
That's
Thon
what we all
Maker.
came to see.
Oh yeah. The 5 bigs.
All right, now we'll transition to NFL Divisional Weekend. The first game is the Rams at the Packers on Saturday. Nathan, who do you like in this game? It's a
All right,
hard
so this is
game.
a very interesting game. I mean, the whole quarterback situation is I don't like it one bit. And I know Aaron Rodgers is usually a perennial postseason choker. They always die in the playoffs, but to his credit, he does get it done early in the postseason against the teams that aren't as good as the teams that he'd face in like the NFC Championship. I like the Packers minus 6.5. They're kind of waiting in the wings that extra week in Lambeau against the California team. I like the Packers minus 6.5.
I do agree with that. And I would be willing to say that if Aaron Donald doesn't play, because he's questionable right now, that the Packers would win by at least 2 touchdowns.
I think McVay said he'll play no matter what, though.
And then they won't win by 2 touchdowns.
But they'll win by 7 points.
Yup.
Okay, the next game, probably my favorite game of the week, the Ravens at the Buffalo Bills. Nathan, who do you like in this game?
I mean, everybody would say the Tampa game, but I think this is probably might be the most fun to watch. It's a very good time slot. Saturday night, Buffalo's going to be absolute chaos. I like the Bills. I like the Bills as a team. and it's weird because Pats fan, you don't like the division, but Bills are fun. But I just have a bad feeling that the Ravens are not. They're not peaking. They didn't look great the other day, but I can just picture Buffalo didn't look too good last game. Night game, Buffalo goes in there. Josh Allen maybe a turnover or two. No Zach Moss. I'm going to take the Ravens plus 2.5 and the over of 50.
I am gonna take Bills minus 2.5. I just think Josh Allen's gonna put too much stress on that defense.
Yeah, I mean, I want the Bills to win, but I could see it being just very Buffalo-y to just
Yeah.
crap their pants at home. Oh, it'd be sad, but I hope not. But
They should have lost the Colts game, correct?
to be fair, yeah.
True.
Okay, next game. Maybe the worst game on this schedule. Browns, a surprising win versus the Steelers last week at the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, so interesting game. Thank God the Browns beat the Steelers. Hate the Steelers. The fraud team.
Oh, Steelers.
True.
Trash.
Quarterback's a terrible person. Just a fat slob. Just despicable. But
Doing other things too, but
true.
Nope.
Yeah.
This is a really tough game because I feel like the Chiefs are like gonna waltz their way into the Super Bowl, but their offense hasn't been as dynamic as you would think. I think I heard a stat that they're like one of the lower teams in red zone percentage. So I'm just gonna think that the Browns, they get Denzel Ward back. Hopefully the defense steps up. Hopefully they kind of just run the ball. I'm gonna take the Browns plus the 10. I just think it's too much. At the very worst, I can see like down by 13 and getting a late touchdown under a minute left. So I'm going to take the Browns plus 10, and I'm going to take the first half under 28.5.
I also have the Browns plus 10. I think they've been disrespected not only by the Steelers, but by a lot of the national media. So I feel like they have way more to play for than the Chiefs do right now. And I think they're going to come out gunning.
So obviously with COVID, you never know because the Browns are still dealing with COVID issues.
That's
But
true.
does the offensive lineman injuries on the Browns, like Cogden, Dunn, Bavino, does that concern you about the Browns running game at all, or protecting Baker?
A little bit, but that game showed me a lot on Sunday that I think that they're pretty well coached. So I think they'll be able to patch it up. I mean, the Kansas City defense, if they're playing like Aaron Donald, the Rams front, then yeah. But I mean, Chris Jones is a bad mamma jamma, but I don't think it's gonna be too much. I mean, they patched it up pretty well against the Steelers, so I think they should be fine to at least cover.
Against the Steelers, TJ Watt was nowhere to be found. So that bodes well for them.
I just don't think
do.
Mahomes. Oh, go ahead, sir.
No, you go ahead.
No, I just don't think Mahomes is gonna intercept the ball 5 times or whatever Ben did.
Well, yeah. He won't give the Browns the same opportunities that Ben did, but I still feel like if the Browns say they they get the opening kickoff, if they score that first drive and just keep the pedal on the metal, I feel like I don't think they'll upset them, but they'll keep it close.
Do you believe
That's all
that
you can
the
ask for.
Chiefs are playing possum by everybody? Because I believe that that's actually the case. Because whenever they played the Ravens on Monday night, where they're like, they beat them handily, they're probably like, oh, that's our biggest threat in the AFC. Well, we got this. We don't have to try. We can just waltz to the Super Bowl.
I think they're just that good. I don't think that I mean, are they resting players? I don't know, but I don't think. I think they're fine. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right, last game, the History Channel of the week. I hate when people say that though. Drew Brees versus Tom Brady, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the New Orleans Saints.
Spread is Saints -3. They played this game twice before. Saints have won pretty handily in both. I'm gonna take the Saints -3. I love Brady, obviously, but I just think that Tampa stink, and that dumb coach Arians, is just going to be too much. I don't think that he can get by that. And I'm going to take the Saints -3. It'll be a close game, but I mean, the Saints with all their weapons intrigues me. And I'm going to take the over 52. It's a fun bet.
So you believe that Brady is going to lose to the Saints 3 times? I don't think that he's never lost 3 times to the same team in the same year.
Whoa,
in his whole career.
it's Bruce Arians losing to Sean Payton 3
Yeah.
times. That's what it is.
I also think the Saints are going to win. I think they're just going to kill them.
I mean, I hope it's close.
I
I-
hope it's close too, but after that last game where the Broncos put up a bigger fight against the Saints than the Bucks, I think
Yeah.
that they're kind of doomed.
Saints D is quietly pretty good too. I mean,
Very good.
and I still think Evans is a little hobbled. So, and
Yeah.
that
And
the Tampa looked really good in the first half against Washington, but that second half they struggled.
I wouldn't even say they looked really good against Washington the first half.
Yeah, they left some points out there with the field
Yeah.
goals. But I mean, maybe if Rojo's back.
Yeah. Especially like in New Orleans, Marshawn Lattimore always shuts down Mike Evans, especially now that he's hobbled. He's going to be a non-factor.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'd watch out for is like a comically bad loss for the Saints. Maybe they fumble it on a kickoff return and then, I mean, just gift for Brady to win the game. But outside of that, I think the Saints are going to win.
Yeah.
And I do have,
Transition.
whoa. I do have a teaser,
Oh yeah.
unless you're transition to that.
Now free money teaser. Here we go. Let's hear it.
Teaser. This is the SpongeBob SquarePants teaser of the week. 7 points we're adding. So we got Rams plus 13.5, Ravens plus 9.5, Bucks plus 10, and Browns plus 17 for a payout of plus 180. It is as square as can be, but I just don't think any of these games are going to be blowouts. Maybe exception of the Rams Packers.
I think the Chiefs are gonna destroy the Browns, but
Not by 17 though. I can't imagine.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
That's a lot.
I think their
You don't
magic's
think
gonna run out.
But the Browns could just run it for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I don't think that defense is good enough to stop them, like, even in garbage time. I feel like they're going to get within 17.
Yeah, maybe they'll backdoor.
Isn't it pretty crazy how Baker, like, just quietly kind of shut his mouth this year and is like pretty good? Like, if not really good, but good.
He kind of started that progression last season, about midway through. But
Yeah,
this year, he's definitely matured a lot.
he's playing like mistake-free football. I mean, I just think they need to get rid of Odell because I think before he was trying to appease Odell, Njoku, Landry, I think he's just trying to satisfy egos. Where now he's just throwing it to the open guy.
I feel like Landry's one of, like, the few receivers that, like, has a big name but doesn't demand the ball. Like, he just seems like the kind of guy that is happy to get it, but is happy if he wins too.
Yeah, I believe I saw during the broadcast that he only has like 70, it might have been like 70 something receptions this year. Like, that's not a whole lot. For a guy his caliber, he should be getting almost 100 receptions, especially as like a slot guy. But to be fair, Cleveland did play like 4 games in a monsoon. So that
Yeah.
probably didn't help.
Isn't it great that the AFC is all not rookies, but all young, up and coming quarterbacks, and Mahomes, but the
Yeah.
NFC is just old, and then Jared Goff.
Yeah, I mean, isn't Baker the oldest quarterback in the AFC?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Peter, call him by his real name, Jared Goof.
Jared Goof.
That game is talk about. I mean, I like the Rams uniforms, but that game is gonna look awful on TV. Like those uniforms at Lambeau. Ooh,
Are they wearing the bone ones?
I don't think they've announced it yet, but that just doesn't look good in the cold at Lambeau.
Yeah.
Like just visually, the Packers are gonna kill them.
Probably.
Dave, who do you like as a Super Bowl winner for both sides? Well, who do you like coming out of the AFC?
Out of the AFC, I realistically think that the Chiefs will make it, but I'm hoping that the Bills do.
And who do you like out of the NFC?
So championship, I think, is going to be Saints at Packers. And the NFL loves storybook endings. So I feel like Drew Brees is going to win the NFC championship and then win the Super Bowl.
And ride off to the sunset, just like Peyton Manning did. When was that,
Exactly.
4 years ago?
I think it might have been like 5
5.
now.
Damn, time flies.
Yeah, because that was Super Bowl 50.
Yeah. Nathan, do you like anybody for a Super Bowl pick?
I'm not wild about it. It's kind of just a weird year. Like, I mean, but if I had to pick, I submitted a bracket to the Daily Goats website. We're not even submitted to the
As of
website,
this
but
recording, you're tied for first with me.
I
5-1.
am. In the finals, I had Chiefs, Packers. I'm confident about the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs they might lose it this year in the Super Bowl, but I think they're good enough to get there, definitely. But I don't know. I had the Packers winning it all in the bracket, but I don't know how I feel about that because I have a known hatred or disgust of Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees because they're regarded as like one of them.
Were you banking on them facing the Bucks this round
No,
instead of the Rams?
if it's Packers Saints in the NFC Championship, I think that bodes well for the Packers. I just can't picture, as much as I like the Saints, I can't picture Drew Brees going into Lambeau and winning. I just can't. I don't like Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees. I think they're losers. They've only won one Super Bowl each. That's disgusting. But I think Rodgers is going to get it done this year. It just feels like that team is quietly good. And it might be their kind of, not the last hurrah, but they drafted Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers is a free, Aaron Jones is a free agent. It might just kind of be like that last run that nobody's talking about.
Speaking of Jordan Love, I think he deserves Rookie of the Year.
True, motivation-wise.
Exactly. Aaron Rodgers had his best year of his career. It wouldn't have happened without Jordan Love.
That's insane to think that people thought that they were going to trade Aaron Rodgers. Like, why?
Yeah.
I'd rather just the Jordan Love pick be a bust and keep Rodgers for 2 more years on top of this.
How old was Brady when they drafted Garoppolo?
So he was
38, 7.
37, 38.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers is 37. So it's the same exact situation.
His first round pick's tough though.
Yeah, but Jimmy Garoppolo was a mid-second round pick.
Am
It's like 20 picks off.
Am I crazy to think that the Packers wide receivers aren't that bad?
I agree.
I mean,
Compared
MVS
to what,
can't
though?
catch a
Compared
deep
to
ball,
what,
but
though?
like he's pretty good.
but not compared to anything, but they're like 4 receivers deep. I mean, Adams, Lazard, MVS, St. Brown.
Robert Tunyon too at tight end.
Mercedes Lewis. Just thinking he's young and spry.
I just think they need a name on the second receiver.
But I just don't think like who could have they picked? Like Mims? Like sure. I mean Jordan
T.
Love's
Higgins.
bad. Yeah, I guess. It's almost like they shouldn't have gone quarterback or receiver. They probably should have just gone like offensive line or something that's not
Yeah.
They
sexy.
picked a quarterback, then a running back. So
And then a fullback in the 4th round or something.
Yeah, Doligo, whatever his name is.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna work out well because if Rodgers retires in a few years, then you have the heir apparent, and then if he doesn't, you can trade Jordan Love for whatever you want.
I mean, they're probably a good team that would be like in free agency, I guess. I just don't think drafting anybody in the first round would have helped. Like, I'd rather wait a year and just sign like AJ Green for pennies. I hate AJ Green, but
I think that they could be a player in like Chris Godwin or Corey Davis this year. I would say Juju, but Juju's had a pretty bad year this year, so maybe
did
not
that to
him.
himself,
But
though.
yeah, that's true.
Allen
Corvette.
Robinson.
He's gonna get franchise tag though.
Yeah, let's run through free agent predictions player by player.
Yeah, let's do it.
Every single one.
Pull it
Look
up.
it all night. Where do you think Cody Davis is going? Special teamer for the Patriots.
To Walmart.
Yeah, true. Back to his old job. All right. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Dave, for joining
Thank
me
you,
on
Peter.
this
It was a
impromptu
blast.
video podcast. We'll take that reunion. Next time we're gonna have to get our 4th member, but
Yes, indeed.
It's true. Well, he died, so it's too bad.
rest in peace.